Hello game fans, and as always, welcome to the Steam Chamber. Today we venture out into the unknown depths of space to review Salvation Prophecy, which is something of an action slash RPG slash strategy space game. The game is made by Fire Dance Games and they are self-publishing, and it's available on Steam now. The game mixes a few different genres and is a mix of ground and space combat with a little bit of strategy. Now, you can play as one of four different races: a robot drone race called the Drone Unity, a human race called the Free Nations, a mutant slash alien race known as the Salvation, and a race known as the Weir, which are a group of half genetically engineered, half cybernetic, insane scientists. Now, unfortunately, that's probably about the best thing about the game. It really does feel as though they have spent far more time on the backstory for the game and the characters and the races within the game than they have on anything else. So the game, when you first start, will give you quite a lengthy and at times boring intro, which will introduce you to the world and the canon of the world, and explain that it's some many years in the future and things have changed and the human race has split and we've left Earth and there have been many wars and these races have formed and they've come together and created more, and there have been more wars and more conflict, and now we are in the situation that we find ourselves within the game. Now you choose one of the four races and you are battling the rest. So you will find yourself, once you've done the training missions, you will find yourself in a hub area, which is essentially a forward base, and from here you can go to an armory and equip your character, you can test things out, you can accept new missions, and then you can go and get a drop ship or a ship to fight in space battles. And the space battles are, you probably won't see much of the space battles in this video, I'm afraid, actually, because every time I was trying to record them, for some reason it was tanking my frame rate. So I will probably just focus on the main battles. Now, the main dropship battles, essentially you go to your dropship, you are dropped on the ground with a load of other troops, and it is essentially a big battle between you and a load of your AI and a load of the enemy AI, and you have to destroy the enemy, and you also have to attack their base structures. And at times, I will say, it did make me feel like I was an individual unit in something, in a game like Red Alert, in a real-time strategy. It did feel like I'd been shrunk and was seeing a real-time strategy through sort of third-person eyes. However, that's probably the only interesting thing about the combat. The gameplay is fairly poor. It's just not fun. I like the idea, the way what they've done with the battles. I like the idea that you're one of many, and there are these, like, there's great stuff going on in the background while you're firing away at other enemies. You can see your people, going toe to toe with other enemies, pulling out their melee weapons and going at each other hammer and tongs, and then moving on to the larger equipment and turrets and such together as a unit. The AI seems to work relatively well in the game, I will give them that, and it is fairly interesting, but the gameplay itself is just boring. It's probably one of the most boring games I've played in a while, actually. It's just really very uninspired. You really get nothing. It's just a matter of holding your finger on the mouse button while it pumps away at the laser or the gun, whatever you're using, and eventually the health goes down enough. There's really nothing much going on there. The animation quality isn't great either, so there's nothing to add when you're during combat. If you go into melee attacks, that's you're never quite sure if you're hitting them or not. There's not really any real feedback with the game, and yeah, it's just really, there's just no substance to the gameplay. And it doesn't end there. I mean, graphically, as you would have seen yourself quite a bit now, but this far into the video, graphically the game looks like it was made 10 years ago, and looks like it was a game that was made badly 10 years ago. The texture quality is awful. I'm running this on absolutely maximum specs of what they've got, and it's not really touching my system, unless, of course, we go into space and then I get real issues for some reason. I don't know if that's me or if that's the game. I'm going to say the game. But there's really no real redeeming features. I mean, the gameplay, as I say, is awful. Graphically, it's fairly awful. Animation quality is fairly bad. Textures are poor. The voiceover work's a bit uninspired. I see they're trying to go with ethereal and deep and meaningful, but it really just comes across as flat and tepid. The gameplay, again, is awful. I know I've mentioned that before, but it's so bad I thought I'd mention it again. And the sound assets are not great. The music's not awful. It's not bad for a game of this level, but the sound is fairly poor. Now, this game is currently retailing at £14.99 on Steam. And to be honest, there are so many better games out there that you could get with that money. I mean, I don't want to hammer at the game at all. I mean, it's not awful, but it's. I wouldn't spend £15 on this game. There are just so many things you could buy in a Steam sale. There are things that you could buy out of a Steam sale that you would get far more for your money than you would spending the £15 on this game. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave it there because there really is nothing else to say about it. The game is not great. If you do like it, despite all this, the game is out now and there will be a link below. If you enjoyed the video, or if you didn't, either way, please like, comment and subscribe. Comment and let us know why you didn't like it, or comment and let us know why you did like it. And please do check out our other videos. We should hopefully be putting a few more up in the next couple of days. I know it's been a little bit slow. Thank you.